up, horse? Snow. Okay, hour 25 in, and we're up here on the Blue Ridge Parkway at Black Horse Gap. This is potentially the last time. I mean, I've done the Jake with 40C Ramblers, I've done the Libre with 47C Ramblers and the 2.1 Paces. And now we got the Hey Hey, a 120 travel, 29er, XTR, 12 speed, consequently the same size Paces that I did on the Libre. So I spent the morning getting the Hey Hey all ready, and really that didn't involve much. I had a Recon Race on and I put the Maxxis Pace 2.1 on. Basically just had to put air in the tires. In terms of rolling resistance, it should be about the same. The only thing that I kind of spaced on, and I realized once I got over here and started going fast on the road, was I forgot to switch out this 32 to just a bigger chain rings. We'll see what kind of hindrance that provides, especially on this first part on the road right out of Day Creek. To recap, the times that we're working with are as follows. The first time was on the Jake with the 40C Ramblers back in May. First time I've ever seen this loop, it was 131 and some change. The second fastest time was on the Libre with the 2.1 Paces, and that was about 3 minutes faster at 128 and some change. That's the mark for this thing. There's only one thing left to do, and that's send it. So I'm gonna drop in down the Black Horse road descent down into Day Creek, and then I'm just gonna roll into the segment. I can already tell I'm gonna be way faster on this bike on the downhills, as long as I can keep air in my tires, which we all know I have a problem with on this loop. Hey, buddy. How y'all doing?
Good, how you doing?
Beautiful day. 0.3 miles to start. See you guys on the other side. All right. Just hit the start of Boblets. I'm up 6 seconds. Okay, crossing over the parkway, top of Boblets Gap. I'm up 5 seconds on the loop. I have a feeling it's about to get a lot bigger. "21 seconds up at the bottom of Boblets." Okay, last climb. I'm down 10 seconds. Basically, I gotta hold it because I can make up time on Black Horse. I'm hoping this is where the full suspension comes in handy. This one's bumpy. All right, I don't know what my time split is. The segment went away, but here we go. pretty sure I got it by not much more than like 40 seconds or so. So here we are. It's a couple days after the Day Creek gravel effort I threw down, and the reason we're doing this now is because, like you just heard, well, I'm pretty sure I got it. I thought I had it. My live segment page glitched on the Wahoo. Something with GPS must have dropped the segment, so I didn't know the time exactly when I finished. That's why I thought I grabbed it. So that's why we're here. We're gonna go back through this ride and analyze why this bike was faster than this bike. So I've pulled up the side-by-side comparison of the Strava ride. We're able to see right next to each other the segments that were on the loop, and then the time that it took me to do them, the speed, and also the power. I had power on both bikes, so this is really interesting. And from this information, maybe we can glean a better understanding of why I was slower on the Hey Hey. Okay, so when we first go in and analyze the ride, looking at the side-by-side comparison here, first thing that stands out is that over the whole entire loop, when I use the Hey Hey, I average over 30 watts more than when I use the Libre. Initially, this is confusing because I had the exact same tires on. The 2.1 pace on the Libre, granted it was a 27.5, and I had the 2.1 pace on the Hey Hey, and it was a 2.9. So you would think that rolling resistance would be about the same. I did use about the same tire pressure, so everything checks out there. Head scratcher. So let's dive deeper. The next segment that I want to look at is the Boblett's East climb. This is the first big climb up to the Parkway. As you can see here, when I did it with the Libre, I did it in 9.5 minutes at 378 watts. Come over here, the Hey Hey, it was just 2 seconds faster, over 30 watts more. So what does that tell me? That tells me that it was just a slower climb. I did the Libre effort in October. I don't remember there being any rain close to when I did the effort. There was a bunch of rain a couple days before the Hey Hey effort, and with it being a bunch colder lately, the roads don't dry out as much. You can see that in the footage as I'm climbing up Boblett. There's a lot of puddles, really muddy spots in the water bar compressions. I think the rolling resistance was a lot more, and I think that added to the fact that I had to put out more power just to hang on to the same time. If we go back to the analysis, Boblett's Gap to Fringer Trail, crushed that on the Hey Hey by approximately 20 seconds. As I was going through the loop, I do remember going over the top of Boblett's. I think I said I was 5 or 7 seconds. I'm up 5 seconds. Bottom of Boblett's, I was 21 seconds up at the bottom of Boblett's. That holds. I do remember losing time from Fringer Trail over to the bottom of Bethel, which is also a bit perplexing because if you look here at the wiggles in reverse when I did it on the Libre, 15:51, and when I did it on the Hey Hey, I actually did it 4 seconds faster. Regardless, that could have been GPS error or, you know, Strava Live segment just not doing a great job. Once we hit the bottom of the Bethel climb, I think I announced that I was 10 seconds off. I'm down 10 seconds. When you look here at the analysis, when I did it on the Libre, I did the Bethel climb in 14 minutes and 41 seconds at about 360 watts. Then we come over here to the Hey Hey ride, and it was almost 2 minutes slower, but I put out about 13 more watts. So again, I'm gonna chalk that up to the fact that there's a bunch of leaves on the trail, probably just a bunch more rolling resistance. I thought the Hey Hey would have been faster just because that climb is so bumpy. There's a bunch of baby head rocks on it, and having the full suspension, I thought that it would be a bunch more efficient. Weight difference between this guy and this guy really aren't that much. And my weight in general hasn't fluctuated since October. So I really can't see there being a 2-minute difference. It must have been rolling resistance. I did drop my Strava Live segment at the bottom of Bethel, so I didn't really know. Granted, I was still pushing hard because I put out 372 watts. Then I went over the top, and we can see here that for Black Horse to Day Creek down on the Libre was 5:19, and on the Hey Hey was a solid 33 seconds faster. So it's obvious from looking at this analysis that the Hey Hey was much faster on the descents. Bobless descent was 20 seconds faster on the Hei Hei, and the Black Horse descent was 33 seconds faster on the Hei Hei. My climb up Boblets was the same on both bikes. Granted, I did have to put out a bunch more watts on the Hei Hei. We'll chalk that up to rolling resistance. And then where I lost all my time, where I came up short on grabbing the KOM for this loop, was the Bethel Black Horse climb. That was the ultimate decider. I lost almost 2 minutes on that, and that deficit was not able to be made up by the fact that I was crushing the descents. So what does all this mean? Well, I mean, off the top of my head, I definitely want to do it again. I guess I have to wait for some drier days, or at the very least until I remember to put a bigger chainring on the Hei Hei. So at the end of this series, I guess I've come to this question of what is faster, gravel or mountain? And I think it really depends. You know, longer descent, rougher descents, the Hei Hei reigns supreme. Longer climbs, more drawn out pedaling sections, the Libre reigns supreme. At the end of the day, I think this was all just an excuse to get out and ride my bike, or bikes rather, and see which one could go faster, which one I could push to the limit, which I ended up pushing both to the limit. While I think the Hei Hei is faster on this loop, and I will probably take it back out for a second attempt. It's cool to know how capable drop bikes are in this day and age, and I look forward to pushing both these bikes a little bit more moving forward. Hope you guys enjoyed the series. Comment below. Look forward to hearing your thoughts, and if you guys have any input on what's faster, gravel or mountain bikes.